Welcome to Blessed by Design, a podcast created to encourage, strengthen, and remind you who you are. Every episode is about walking in faith, trusting God's timing, and becoming who you were always meant to be. This is your place to reset, refocus, and move forward with confidence. You were created for more. You are here for a reason. Now let's begin. This episode is You're Not Lost, You're Unaligned. There's a quiet question a lot of people are carrying right now. They don't always say it out loud, but it sits heavy in the chest. Who am I really, and why do I feel so off? If that's you, let me say this clearly. You're not lost. You're unaligned. We live in a time where information is everywhere. Voices are loud, and expectations never stop. You're told who to be, how to look, what to want, how fast to move, and what success is supposed to look like. And somewhere along the way, you start chasing a version of yourself that was never yours to begin with. That's why you feel tired. That's why motivation doesn't work anymore. That's why even when you're doing well, something still feels empty. Because identity comes before direction. Confusion doesn't mean you're failing. It often means you're growing. It means the old version of you no longer fits, but the new one hasn't fully stepped forward yet. And that space in between, it's uncomfortable. It's quiet. It can feel lonely, but it's also sacred. God doesn't design lives at random. He designs them with intention. And when you start drifting from who you were created to be, your spirit notices before your mind does. That's the tension you feel. That's the restlessness. That's the pause you've been avoiding. Social media will tell you to compare. Culture will tell you to perform. The world will tell you to become louder, faster, more visible. But God often does the opposite. He pulls you inward before he moves you forward. So if you've been feeling stuck, maybe it's not because you don't know where to go. Maybe it's because you need to remember who you are. You are not behind. You are not broken. And you are not invisible. You are being realigned. And when identity becomes clear, direction follows. Decisions become lighter. Boundaries become easier. Peace starts to return, not because life is perfect, but because you're finally walking in alignment with God's design instead of fighting it. So pause today, breathe, ask yourself the honest question, who am I becoming and who told me to become them? Because once you remember who you are, everything else begins to make sense. This is blessed by design, and your life is not an accident.